Hi everyone. So let's get started. My community building journey, building awesome developer communities in a fun way. I have learned these things over the years that things like hiring the right people or building a brand, trying to make it more fun and inclusive as possible. Hence, let's build communities in a fun way and inclusive way as possible. An introduction. So, hey everyone, I am Akanksha Basin, Technical Community Evangelist at Symbol.ai, and I work in the DevRel space evangelizing about the product, building technical communities, and looking after the partnerships and dev acquisition space. And I often amplify about Build with Symbol. I'm also the founder of Women in Voice India and love advocating about Voice First. I'm a tech evangelist having 3+ years of experience in building communities and have actively led Google's Developer Student Club in the past. I've hosted more than 25 plus sessions on voice tech, which has impacted more than 2,000 developers across different parts of India. And on the personal side, I love to dance. And I would love to connect with you all and talk about startups, technology, and anything related to community building. So, today I will be sharing about my journey and some tips on how you can build a community from scratch and grow it holistically. I will also share how the student community is run differently from product led communities and how companies bridge this gap by engaging with developers. And a note in the beginning, all citations are based on my learnings, experiences, and through some remarkable folks in the industry who are like breathing in and out the elements of developer relations. So, before getting started, let's understand what is a community. A community is a group of people who share a common place, experience, or interest, and they basically come together to communicate, work together, and pursue their interest over time. It could be a technical community discussing about Android or web technologies, or maybe something like hiking or cooking or related to medicine. While the environment is different, the fundamentals of how community form have always been the same. So, to the moon. Communities could be it any mode, be it online and offline. I read somewhere that in the previous year, on an average, a new community was created on Reddit every 2.4 minutes. Isn't that huge? More than 1 billion people are participating in Facebook groups every month. It took me like 5 seconds to tell you about the statement. It's safe to assume at least one new community must have been formed in this time frame somewhere in the world. In fact, communities have been forming, evolving, and dying consistently since the beginning of humanity. So, building community is part of being human. Opening a new community is very easy, but sustaining it will be a tough road to hoe. So let's understand the importance of community building. So why is community important? Because community saves us from the isolation and the alienation we fear, because in the real world people have no choice. Because community is all about finding each other and a place we can call home. But we are also compelled to build community not only because we are survivors in an existing order, but because we bring differences to a society that erases all the differences. Whether it's a community formed of similar interest, a remarkable product that we had launched, or doing our personal branding, we all want a community where we feel heard out. So, by building a community, we put some order in this fragmented world, whether it's a platform for learning, networking, software, products, e commerce, or the whole world in general. We all need one community. So, let's understand what's the benefit of joining a community. You get a chance to meet and greet where peer to peer learning happens, which provides an awesome experience and will enhance your knowledge effectively. Most of the people often ask this question, why go out for a community meetup? We have to spend a lot of time on traveling, or why get up early on a weekend for a conference as a lot of material is already available on the internet. But you never know what brings you in. You might learn something new or learn from the past mistakes of the speaker so that you don't repeat it. Or maybe you could find your future co founder or a hackathon partner. When I was in my sophomore, I found my hackathon partner from a different college. And on top of that, the hackathon was in a different city. My parents were totally against it as I haven't traveled my entire life to a different city, but somehow I convinced them by saying it's my heart calling and I have to go. And that life changing experience proved to be really beneficial, and I felt independent at that moment. So it was a great learning experience. Next is the speaker sessions. So some sessions provide real world experience, whether you are taking part in some online conference or event. You can also work on the existing technologies and build projects that solve real life problems. There are various open source organization, companies, and communities that host conferences and events. So do get do attend those, and it's open to all. You get a chance to network with like-minded folks and people with diverse backgrounds as well. You might also get a chance to get hired as well, and it's good for personal growth as well, since you get an opportunity to upskill. So here's a remarkable tweet by Dharmesh, who is the co-founder of HubSpot. So he says that product led growth is great. What I am excited about now is the community led growth. Companies that create massive communities for their category and facilitate connections will win hearts, minds, and market share. Community is a catalyst for growth. That's a well said. Every company nowadays it's trying to be more inclusive and tries to build human to human connection and focuses less on the conventional ways of marketing. Even Instagram accounts of big companies try to be more personal by giving a human touch to their posts and post replies, and even in the tweets the way they market their products is more community led than those conventional marketing techniques. So now let's understand what's community led growth all about. So communities are a powerful growth driver of growth. There are new age catalysts of growth that brings substantial value to the product and sales. That's why like almost 70% of the companies with communities say that they will be investing in them further this year. Big companies like Atlassian, Salesforce have created huge communities around their product, and they host events, conferences, and reward their champions regularly. Talking about big guns like Google, Amazon, Apple won hearts of public through thriving communities, and there was a widespread adoption of their technologies and products. Communities have always been existed in the market. It's like 2020 and 2021, like when the pandemic hit, it has accelerated. And community led growth is a go to market strategy that relies on network, impact, influence, and inputs from a strong supportive community as the main lever for product and business growth. In other words, community of product enthusiasts, whether it's external folks like ambassadors or raving fans, why not? That's you have been thoughtfully building and nurturing over time, acts as the driving force for developer acquisition, customer acquisition, and activation and retention. Even in our company, we follow these AAA RP model. So, what's the ROI? So, developers and customers who feel part of a community are more likely to refer their friends as and less tempted to leave for a competitor. They often become brand evangelists too, which is free and effective marketing for the company. And in case of early stage startups, community members often act as focus groups, giving valuable product and experience feedback that companies can use to improve their products more quickly. And a lot of investors and leadership team often ask for ROI for the community. It's important for all the advocates and evangelists to clear the tangible and fundamental metrics, as everything can't be quantifiable. The impact of the community may not be immediate, but it will definitely bear fruits in the long run holistically. So, product led growth and community led growth. So, community led growth and product led growth gets hand in hand. Community led growth often amplifies the product led growth. Community led growth is the next step. It doesn't replace the product led growth. An excellent customer experience is still the key to gaining enthusiastic fans. Instead, it builds on top of the product led growth by harnessing the power of existing customers, and they all feel a natural desire we all have for the community. While product led growth leans on the product usage and user experience to acquire new users and maybe increased user retention, maybe to the APIs or SDKs, and even boosting customer lifetime value, community led growth relies on building and nurturing a strong community that will directly influence the product growth in the long run. A few big names like Figma, Coda, and Notion are good examples of products that are amplifying growth with a community led strategy. So, there has been a statement like product led growth and community led growth can exist very harmoniously together by Bob Murray. So, as we just heard from Bob Murray, the line gets blurred between effective product led growth and effective community led growth. So, it's kind of a Venn diagram. All the best things are in the middle of it, but both sides equally matter. So, the takeaway of the three key benefits that your business can gain from a community led growth are acquisition, retention, and uncapped feedback. And on the left hand side, you can see, as we know about product led, we have user research, product analytics, PQL acquisition, feature adoption, product experience. So basically, we can leverage our community and both can work together holistically. And community led, we can build personal relationships with the person so that they don't just come and just sign up and don't use our product afterwards. We should try to maybe having some feedback calls in between, doing more one-on-ones with them, or maybe sending them resources that's not available on docs, maybe something exclusive on top of it, which they can build some amazing projects. And virality of referrals, or maybe hosting some giveaways, or maybe inviting them to develop a spotlight series. So this way you can continuously engage with them. So now it's story time. Enough of knowledge session. So I started my journey in voice by developing actions for Google Assistant and then later explored VoiceFlow, Alexa, and Bixby. After learning this new technology, I felt really motivated, excited to bring the voice revolution in India. I wanted to teach others about this latest technology. I wanted to make the voice ecosystem better in India, like people getting access to resources more easily. Like you must have seen in 2018, there was a widespread adoption towards voice first technologies like Google Assistant, Alexa. So I regularly hosted some sessions. So here's a short journey of mine. So I was a regular attendee in meetups to becoming an organizer, hosting events, and then speaking at meetups. So the transformation have been really awesome. All thanks to these voice communities that have always supported me. Here are some glimpses of some sessions that I took in different colleges along with my colleague. In most of our meetups, we covered how to make voice actions and skills, making bilingual apps, along with focusing more on the conversational design, which matters the most. So we held sessions on Firebase, GCP, Dialogflow, and a lot of them. And I've helped a lot of people in getting started in the field of voice and have given more than 20 plus sessions on various technologies in four different states of India, which impacted more than 2,000 people in the span of 2 years. And in November 2019, so all these 3 years during my college time, it has been building communities either with Google VoiceFlow. So in November 2019, I started giving some sessions on VoiceFlow as well in meetups, and in just 3 months it got like 500 plus developers across India. And a little about VoiceFlow, it's like a no code tool that helps you in prototyping and building Google Actions and Alexa skills. And because of my contributions in voice communities, I was also invited to speak at Voice Global. It was my first international talk. So next comes Women in Voice. So I'm the founder of Women in Voice India. So Women in Voice is an international organization for supporting women and minority genders in the field of voice. It has many chapters all across the world. Our mission is to celebrate, amplify, build community, and empower women and gender minorities in voice. We launched Women in Voice India back in 2020 in middle of the pandemic. It was very difficult and challenging, but somehow we worked hard and we scaled it to 150 plus members. And we also had a virtual launch for Women in Voice India last year, and people all over India joined us for the event. So some rewards and so I received the Up and Coming Voice Award this year for my contributions in the voice ecosystem. And so this is the place where I work, Symbol.ai. So Symbol.ai is a conversation intelligence platform that enables you to add AI and ML on top of your voice, video, or text communication interfaces. Think of Symbol as one-stop shop to manage all your conversation and generate automated speech recognition, sentiments, actions, questions, custom intents. There's so much. Without building and scaling ML in real time, we have an awesome suite of APIs and SDKs that works with the REST interface for URLs and even with streaming audio. And the best part, like we recently announced our Series A last week. So it's my first job straight out of my college, that to be in Devrel. It felt a little overwhelming in the beginning, but those strategies, frameworks, and learning from the community proved to be really beneficial at Symbol and was the key role to grow the developer community exponentially and holistically. And my journey with Symbol has been completely phenomenal. Like I joined in back in 30th March, and I'm really proud to say that we have grown our community exponentially. And talking about some several initiatives that we have launched in our community. So we had Integrate to Disrupt Hackathon. We have hosted virtual happy hours. We have also launched a developer ambassador program, and we also experimented with the developer month to promote our main agenda like hashtag build with symbol. And we have an amazing community on Slack and Twitter as well. Feel free to join it. And so these are some learnings of from my Devrel journey. We launched a lot of initiatives. So these are the amazing stats from our hackathon. We had like 2066 participants, 88 ideas submitted, and 56 teams shortlisted, and signups were like more than around 1,000. So it was great. Like the first time we hosted it was around February. That time we had 200 participants, but this time we scaled it up to having more than 2,000 registrations. So it was something huge. So was there any secret recipe? So all these were like the learnings from the community. We collaborated with other communities. We had various networking sessions, and we did a lot of live streams. We did product feedback calls, developer month, happy hours, even had some fun giveaways and developer swags. And the best part of that, the whole journey of Integrate to Disrupt Hackathon was we also had many support calls where we helped developers wherever they were facing any doubts in their project. So whenever you host some hackathon in your company, try to give individual attention to all the developers, and try having some events in between so that they don't just come and submit their project. There should be some feedback calls or maybe something inclusive where they have some fun as well. So, and each and every initiative summed up to an army of devs who have evangelized like build with symbol. And in just 6 months, we scaled our community to 2,500 plus community members. So That was something I'm really proud of. And the last thing we had Hacktoberfest 2021. So it's a great way. Like it was the first time we participated in Hacktoberfest. So we open sourced our repos and received a lot of participation from community. So if you are a developer advocate or evangelist, hosting some events or maybe open sourcing your repositories where people get a chance to directly contribute, they will feel like more inclusive as well. So you can also try hosting these open source activities. Yep. So that's all about it. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'm open for any questions, and feel free to connect me either on LinkedIn or Twitter.